Listen, before we can really, get into how to build credit without debt, we first need to understand what makes up your credit score, and it's influenced by 5 factors. And I really want you to understand this. I'm gonna break this down for you. All right. Number one, the number one thing is going to be your payment history. All right. So when it comes to your credit score, there's 5 main things. There's 5 pieces of this pie that determines your credit score, right? And that's your payment history. You see, paying bills on time is the biggest piece with this. I just want to rephrase that. Paying back your debt on time is one of the biggest piece to obtaining a credit score. Now, how do I say this? We should not have too much consumer debt on our credit report. If I was to pull my credit report today, you will see my real estate. And you will see some old stuff that I had from years ago that I paid off. But now I'm able to have an 800 credit score simply because of the assets that are on my credit report that are not liabilities. Now watch this. It's still debt. It is still debt. But these are assets. These are mortgages that I have that is going towards wealth building. That is my home. Now I have an 800 credit score, which leads me down to the second part of the pie is your credit utilization. Okay. This is how are you using the funds that they're giving you? So for an example, another financial advisor was like, hey, if you get a $10,000 credit card, put no more than $3,000 on that credit card. Keep your ratio below 30%, right? And so this method, not this method, but this piece, the second piece of the pie is how are you using your debt? Pretty much. Are you using all $10,000 of the debt of the money they gave you? Or are you keeping your debt ratio down to 30%? Here's another one. Length of your credit history. So they say, how long have you been in debt? And isn't it funny that they reward you for how long you stay in debt? So if you get into debt in 2015 and you still have that same credit card, that same personal loan, that same thing, they reward you for keeping the debt and paying on it, they say, right? Some people will say, man, the longer you can have debt, the better you are. So the longer I'm in debt, the better I am. Okay. The next piece of the pie is the credit mix, AKA the debt mix. You see, when you're going into particular banks, some banks honestly want to see a variety of accounts like loans and credit cards, etc. That's what some people would say. When I went to get my home, man, the fact that I had, and we're going to talk about this, the fact that I had money in my savings account, the fact that I had money set aside in my investment portfolio, and I only had real estate on my actual credit report with some other things, like I had paid off student loans and etc. on there that I paid off in the past. I mean, even car loans, I'm being honest, that I paid off in the past. They're like, yo, you're a perfect candidate. I didn't get declined. I didn't get denied. Now, I was told that my insurance quote was a little bit higher because I didn't have a lot of different credit things on my credit profile. This is where my friends Kikoff come into play, right? And so I was like, okay, that's not a problem. But then here's the next thing that really bothers me. Not really bothers me, but this is how your credit report is really added up, is new credit inquiries, okay? What kind of debt are you going after? How often are you going after debt? So I really want to break this down again. I want to break this down one more time. And Ed, let's put the graph up on the screen if we had one made for the show. Your debt history, payment history, your debt utilization, credit utilization, your debt history, your length of credit history, your different kind of debt accounts, which is your credit mix, and how many new accounts are you going after? Credit inquiries, debt inquiries. Isn't it funny though that our credit score has nothing to do with how much money we make a year? Isn't it funny though that Equifax, TransUnion, Experian cannot get a glimpse of our savings account? Can I get a glimpse of our checking account? Can I get a glimpse of what we have in liquid cash and have that go towards our credit report? Because you can do all these 5 things and have an 800 credit score, but don't have $800 inside the bank. You can do all these things, have an 800 credit score, but don't even have $800 invested into a mutual fund, into a brokerage account. $800 even into your Roth 401k, your traditional 401k. You can have an 800 credit score, but don't even have a 529 for your kids. This changes. And I've come to understand, you guys, that it is important for us to have either a no credit score with a lot of money or a good credit score so we can pay less interest when we go to finance a home, when we go to get our interest rates. But I do not want you having a negative credit score. I don't want you having below a 600. I don't want you having anything negative on your credit report. Negative. This is why today's show was sponsored by Kikoff, because recently I've partnered with them and I've joined them and I've used them, and I'm going to give you all some things that I've personally used that before I even bought my second home, I even used these accounts, these particular things to help me get more things on my credit report that wasn't necessarily debt, if that makes sense, right? Now, yes, they got to give you something, but I'm going to keep it a buck with you. You don't have to use everything that they're giving you. Like, for an example, I may say go to SoFi to get a savings account. When you get a savings account, a high yield savings account from SoFi, they're going to offer you a credit card. They're going to offer you these things. Listen, y'all know how I roll. I'm trying to get you the best bang for your buck. SoFi is going to give you the best bang for your buck when it comes to a high yield savings account. Now, when you get in there, you got to be wise to use the tools to your benefit, not necessarily all of their benefit. And it's the same thing that I have in place with Kikoff, right? Kikoff helps you build credit without credit cards or any hidden fees. Honestly, it is the safest, simplest, and most affordable way to improve your credit. Plans start just as $5 a month, and payments are reported to all 3 major credit bureaus. So this is your Equifax, this is your TransUnion, this is your Experian. There's absolutely no credit check. There's absolutely no interest. There's no hidden fees. So you literally sign up in minutes, right? No hassle. Choose the basic plan, the premium plan, or their ultimate plan. Listen, y'all, don't even worry about the ultimate plan if you don't want to do it. Get the basic or the premium plan. I'm on the basic plan, $5 a month. You just pay on time, and you're going to watch how your credit profile is growing. And here's what I love. I saw one account of one of my friends. Their users went, their credit score was, I think it's like at a 580. And it raised like a 610 within a matter of, watch this, 30 days. 30 days. Kept going. And I was like, I like this. I do like this. And I was like, this is a no-brainer. That if you've been looking for a safe way to build your credit safely, Kikoff is the answer.
All right, fam, let's have a heart-to-heart. You all know that I'm all about helping you get your money. But let me ask you this question. How's your credit report looking? And if you're being honest and you're saying, you know what, Ayo, I need some help, well, listen, I got something for you. Listen, I know credit can feel like this big, confusing thing, but with Kikoff, it doesn't have to be. They've designed a super simple, affordable way to help you build your credit, whether you're just starting out or need to bounce back from a rough patch. Here's how it works. Kikoff reports to the major credit bureaus to help you establish a positive credit history. And you can get started for as little as $5 a month. No credit check, no crazy interest fees at all, no hidden fees, just a straightforward way to improve improve your financial standing. And here's why it matters the most, because it is not just about a number, it is about financial freedom and doors opening up for you. Do you want that dream apartment? Do you want lower car insurance and even better job prospects? It all starts with making sure you have a good credit profile. So don't wait. Head over to anthonyoneal.com/kickoff. That's anthonyoneal.com/KIKOFF and start your first month for just as little as $1. Listen, it's anthonyoneal.com/kickoff, KIKOFF. You get it for $1. Let's get you some lower rates, especially in 2025.
Most landlords, here's the truth, and property management companies do not report your rent payments to credit bureaus. However, did you know that you can use a third-party service to have your rent payments included on your credit report? I did this when I first moved out to Tennessee. I was like, man, you know I want to get a home, and so I was like, but I don't want to take out a credit card. I don't want to borrow no money. But there has to be a way. There has to be a way that I can have something reported to my credit report that is no debt, but it's showing that I'm making good payment history. Because I'll never forget when I paid off all my debt and I went to get car insurance. My payment went up because I had nothing active on my credit report. Nothing active. And the guy said, man, if you came back as a non-active, so to us, you're somewhat of a liability. I was like, yo, bro, I'm not, though. I don't have any debt. He said, I get it. But we don't know if you can make payments on time. And for us, making payments on time is important. So your premium is high. I had just bought a nice high-end car, and I was like, wait, what? So I just started paying and stuff, and then I just started doing some research. How to build credit without racking up debt. And then I learned about popular rent reporting services. For an example, like renttrack.com. They report to all 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and even TransUnion. What you simply do is make your payment through RentTrack. RentTrack will play your landlord. Once you make that payment is accepted, it is honestly now reported to your credit report on all 3. So let's talk about this. Let's say that you go from you have nothing on your credit report, but every single month you have to pay $1,500 a month in rent. So now you got a good payment history of $1,500 on your credit report. That's no debt. That's no credit card. That's no personal loan. But now you have this huge payment being reported. That's going to help jump up your credit score. Now, here's what I have learned, that RentTrack doesn't report and doesn't work with all major apartment complexes. So there's another service that I found out about. I'm doing some research called Experian Rent Bureau. Works with landlords or managers to report your rent directly. So I want you to check out. We're going to put these inside of today's show notes. You got renttrack.com and you have Experian Rent Bureau. All right. There's another one that I'm really learning about. I haven't done too much research on them, but I just had a friend tell me about them because they know I'm into the space. I was like, yo, have you heard of Is this you? How do you say that, Ed? I think I'm saying it right. Isuzu. Yeah, Isuzu. I haven't heard this one, but they also report your rent payments, and they also offer some financial literacy tools. Now, I don't know if I trust their financial literacy tools again, but I love the fact that if the Experian doesn't offer your particular landlord, this particular landlord actually works with a lot of like your home. If you're renting a home and it's not through a big company, they can work with you there as well. All right. Now, this other one I have used is called Level Credit. Watch this. We're paying our utilities every month. We're paying our light bill. We're paying our water bill or gas bill, depending on where you are. We're paying that every month. I actually use them to this day. They allow you to report rent and other utilities. So I use them more so for my utilities. That's how my credit score is able to be a little bit higher, because I'm making sure, again, that I'm not racking up any debt, not borrowing any money. But if I have to spend out this money every single month, why not get a little bit of credit? And why not get just a little bit of credit for it? Why not? You can do with them, I think you can do anything from like your subscription bills, your utility payments, even watch this, even your Netflix and phone bills, your cell phone bills, Verizon, AT&T. Those companies are not traditionally reported, but if you pay them, they pay the people, they will give you credit on your credit report. Now listen, I'm not saying this is going to work for every single body. Here's what I am saying. If you're on this mission this year of eliminating your debt, it is tremendously unfair that you will be penalized for eliminating your debt on your credit report. Because let's just say some of us, we're trying to get our debt ratio down. We're trying to become consumer debt free so that we can go buy a house. So that in 2026, we can go build our dream home for our family. But because we're eliminating the debt, our credit score drops. When our credit score drops, now if we're not going through a manual underwriter, now we got to go through another bank and we're going to get dinged on that and get a lower interest, and a higher interest payment, a higher interest rate, simply because we're trying to be consumer debt free. So my thing is, how do we become consumer debt free and maximize the payments we have to make every single month, no matter what, for our benefit?